Hello, welcome back to Claudia K Behind the Scenes. So I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. It's a doctor's appointment that I made 3 months ago because I haven't had a doctor since 2019. And I try not to be a doctor hopper because I know that looks bad. In your file, it's all online now, but your file, you hop from doctor to doctor to doctor, except the last doctor that I saw accidentally prescribed me the wrong medication, which set off such a bad fibromyalgia flare-up. I thought I was dying. And when I called back in, they told me to continue taking it. And then I get a frantic call back from the nurse practitioner herself going, "Stop that medication immediately. You got prescribed the wrong medicine." So I never went back. And that was in 2019. And then in 2020, getting into a doctor was impossible. And then in 2021, my sister died. And so now we're in 2023. And when I came down with shingles in April, then I needed a doctor and I didn't have one. So I needed to establish care with a new doctor. And this doctor is my niece's doctor, the niece that has POTS, not the niece that has Crohn's. We have an entire family full of just chronically ill people, and I don't understand why. Because my mom nursed all of us, my mom fed us organically, my mom made all of our food from scratch my entire childhood. We lived on a farm. I don't know. We ate meat that didn't have hormones in it. I don't know why we're all so sick, but we are, and it's frustrating. So, they couldn't get me in for 3 months. So I made this appointment at the end of April and got in there yesterday. And I was her last appointment of the day, which I like to be the first appointment of the day. I will get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get in there into your office at 7 if that's the time that you come in, because I would rather you be fresh than be your last appointment of the day. I was her last appointment of the day. It was the first available. I would have had to have waited another 3 weeks for a different appointment. This was the first available. I just took it, which is why I wasn't on Glass with Class last night, why we pre-recorded. So, the nurse went over, they sent out a text message, an email, and sent me paperwork. All 3 things said to bring all of your supplements and vitamins with you and any medications, except I'm not on any medications. And so I had hauled all of that, had to collect it from the different places it was all over the house, had to haul it all with me, and they didn't even want to see it. So, and I had rested all day yesterday because I didn't want to be in so much pain that the brain fog was so bad that I wasn't able to make sense when I was trying to talk to her, because I always say the wrong thing. It doesn't matter which doctor I'm seeing. If I am seeing a medical professional, I say the wrong thing. I don't know why I do that. And trigger warning, I'm probably going to cry in this video because I've been crying since last night. So that's your first hint that it did not go well at all. So nurse runs through everything, and they didn't ask my pain levels, which is the first time I've ever been to a doctor where they didn't ask my pain levels since I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I don't know if that's just something they've stopped doing. I don't know. So she comes in and introduces herself, and she sits down, and she's like, "I see you're here to establish care." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well," and she starts going through my symptoms that are already in my chart. Well, not symptoms, but my diagnosis that are already in my chart. And I said, "Yeah, I've got fibromyalgia. Yes, I've got chronic fatigue syndrome." And I said, "Yeah, I'm not even able to work right now." And then she's like, "Well, tell me more about that." And so I said, "Well, I can't stand for more than 45 minutes. I can't sit for more than 2 hours." And she's like, "Well, what is it that you want me to do about that?" And I'm like, "Nothing. I'm not here for medication. And she's like, well, I'm looking at your scans and you're not disabled. I said, I don't want to be on disability. I want to work. We don't do that in my family. We all work. We all work. To the bone, we will work 3 jobs. No one in my family is on disability or wants to be on disability. My niece with the severe Crohn's was able to find a job working from home 40 hours a week. My niece with POTS just finished college and graduated while working at, I don't remember when she got the job at Starbucks, but at Starbucks, and then worked full-time at Starbucks all summer, and then she'll start teaching next month, a full-time teaching. Like, no one in this family wants to get any kind of assistance. That's not why I'm here. And so then she wanted to know things that had worked in the past, and, you know, she starts listing off things, and I said, no, that didn't work for me. No, I did that, and it didn't. And she's like, again, repeated the no medication. Well, I don't know what you want from me if you don't want medication. And I'm like, it's not that I don't want medication, but I either have one of the allergic reactions to it, or it doesn't do anything at all, or it does the exact opposite thing that it's supposed to. I mean, I'm not against medication, but it never works right for me. And she said, well, I think you should try physical therapy. I said, that's great. I love physical therapy. I said, but then, you know, my insurance runs out and I can't go to physical therapy anymore. And she goes, well, then why don't you go to the gym? Why don't you get a Y membership? I said, I can't afford that. Well, then why don't you do the exercises at home? Well, I do the exercises at home for a little bit, and then life gets in the way and I forget. And then if I try to do them again, I do them wrong and I injure myself. Except I didn't say that to her because I was so frustrated, and I never say the right thing. And so at one point, I'm so frustrated that I'm starting to cry, and she hands me a box of Kleenex, and then she goes, well, you're obviously fine. You reached for that box of Kleenex when I handed it to you. And you've sat there just fine for the last 15 minutes. And you picked up that water bottle, because I had water with me. You picked up that water bottle with no issues, so you're not disabled. Okay, I don't want disability. I'm not trying to get you to say I'm what is that? It was like she was trying to catch me in a lie, except I'm not here for drugs, and I'm not here to go on disability, so what is your point? Like, it was like she kept trying to catch me in a lie. A lie for what? What am I lying about? And for what reason would I be lying? So we ended the whole thing with, she says I'm depressed and I need to go to a psychiatrist. Okay, maybe I am depressed. But I can tell you, on the days when I have less pain, I have 0 symptoms of depression. So if you take away my pain, I'm not depressed. So maybe figure out a way to help me handle the pain. And I know this is not an uncommon story because I follow a bunch of chronically ill people on TikTok. And I used to be on a whole bunch of fibromyalgia support groups on Facebook. And I know this is how people get treated. And she's like, well, I need you to work really hard when I send you to the psychiatrist. Okay. I want to get better. Why would I not work hard at that? If I was here trying to get disability, then yes, I can understand why you're grilling me or trying to catch me in a lie or trying to trick me into saying something else. I'm not. I want to work, and I want to have a social life, and I want to support myself. Why? had she already prejudged me before I came in the room. And she talked about me. She didn't say doctor hopping, but she said, well, because of the amount of doctors. No, I would go to a doctor for a while and then life circumstances would change and I would have to move and I would have a fibromyalgia flare up. And then by the time I got around to it again, maybe the doctor wasn't in the office anymore and they'd moved, or maybe the doctor moved out of network. Same with counseling. I had a fantastic counselor. I really felt like I was making progress with at one point, and he left the practice. So it's not like I am going from doctor to doctor to doctor. Every few years, I have time to focus on me again, and other things have calmed down. Like my kids stopped being teenagers, which was a whole thing. If you've ever raised teenagers, you know how difficult that is. So all of my time and effort and energy went into them. So no, I didn't go to doctor's appointments. I didn't have a doctor for that time period. If I had wanted drugs, or if I had wanted her to sign off so I could get on disability, which she can't even do, that's not even the process. That wasn't why I could maybe see how you're trying to trick me into discovering why I'm really here. I need to be better so that I can work, so that I can get out of debt, so that I can stop living off of my aging parents. I do not want to be 50 living again with my 71 and 73-year-old parents and not able to support myself. And the only reason I was here was to establish care anyway. I didn't even want to go into all of this. You brought it up. So I just left in tears. That whole, you should just get a Y membership and work out. I don't. And I thought that she would be a good fit because she was female and she's younger. So she doesn't already have the set prejudice of an older and or male doctor of fibromyalgia isn't real and women are just trying to get medication or not have to work, whatever. I wasn't expecting to get that from a younger female doctor. It just wasn't. It was not prepared for it. And so she didn't give me any medication because she didn't want any. She didn't give me a referral anywhere yet. I'm still waiting for my chart to update to see if I've got any referrals. She said she was going to, but she sent me home with nothing. Nothing. Except for, I want to see you again in 3 months. For what? The only good thing is that for the first time ever, since I had kids, I did not have a doctor tell me I need to lose weight. But that is because I've lost 43 pounds since the last time I was at the doctor. And this doctor's in the same network as my last doctor. So my chart came up. It's all there. Everything that I've been through, it's all there in my chart. So I've lost 43 pounds since the last time I saw a doctor. And instead of her saying, well, I see you lost 43 pounds. Has that improved your health? She doesn't even mention it. I've cut out sugar. I've cut out gluten. I have cut out all chemicals. I've cut out all processed food. I've cut out dairy. I'm basically left with fruits and vegetables and lean proteins for what I'm eating currently. I added in oatmeal and I added in brown rice, and I'm not even sure if I should have done that because I'm not sure if that is causing more pain. And not only did I not get better after cutting all of that out, I got worse. because I reached for a box of Kleenex, there's nothing wrong with me? What even is that? I don't even understand that. And fibromyalgia doesn't show up on scans. And fibromyalgia, you have days with more pain and days with less pain. And yesterday it rested. So I wasn't in a massive amount of pain. I mean, I was in pain. Everything hurts all the time. But I hadn't overdone it so that I was in so much pain I couldn't drive, concentrate, or think. Because on days when I'm in so much pain, I can't even drive. It'd be dangerous for me to be on the road. I just don't even understand what her point was. That's what I don't get. To keep acting like she was calling me out and catching me in a lie because I reached for a box of Kleenex, so there's nothing wrong with me. It hurt to reach for that box of Kleenex because she was holding it out of my reach. But just because things hurt doesn't mean you don't do them. It hurts to do dishes, but I do them. It hurts to sit for 2 hours to do a sale, but I do it. It hurts to get up in the morning and get a shower sometimes, but I do it. Like, I don't even understand. I don't know. So it didn't go well at all. And that's just where I'm at. And the whole, well, have you tried counseling? Yeah, repeatedly. Repeatedly tried counseling. Except that I'm not going to waste my time and my energy to go to someone. The one counselor I went to, second session in, I was dealing with my teenage daughter at the time. None of my kids were bad, don't get me wrong, but typical teenage stuff is hard. And then you add in that you have a mom who is constantly fatigued and in pain. And so I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything right as a parent so that I'm not taking out stuff on my teenager. You know, so the second time I was in there, I was like, I just want to make sure that what I'm doing is appropriate because this is what she's doing. So then I have decided to punish her by taking away the Wi-Fi, take the Wi-Fi box to work with me. So then all three of them are forced to do their chores because they don't have any access to the internet and they can't just sit around doing whatever on the internet. They are getting things done they need to. Getting the homework done, getting their chores done, whatever it was. I don't even remember at this point. But she goes, well, doesn't that inconvenience you? I'm like, what do you mean? By taking the Wi-Fi box to work with you, then you have to, when you come home, plug it all back in and hook everything back up to the Wi-Fi. Doesn't that inconvenience you? And I'm like, I don't parent to not be inconvenienced. I parent because parenting is the right thing to do. Oh, well, when my kids were little and I needed to get things done, I just popped them in front of the TV. I was like, lady, you and I have very different views on parenting. If your parenting style was to plop your kids in front of a TV, because I have never just decided that that was easier for me and I was going to do that. I parent my children with a 10. I walked out and never went back. So it's not that I'm against counseling, but also don't waste my time. Whatever. I just don't even know. So that's my frustration. This was not a happy video. It didn't go well. And every time I think about it, I get even more mad. And I feel hopeless. I had a whole career that I spent a decade building my business from. I supported my 3 kids by myself. My ex-husband and I split up when my youngest was born. By the time that he was a month old, my ex-husband had moved out of the county. He didn't even live close enough to come and help with the kids if there was a doctor's appointment or an ER visit or a school function. He moved completely away. And he didn't support them financially, even though he was only ordered to pay the minimum amount because he mostly worked under the table. So I did it all on my own. And now I can't even sit for a sale that's longer than 2 hours. I'm sitting on a cushion right now with icy hot patches on. And it's been 20 minutes and my butt bones feel like they're on fire from just sitting here. Well, I'd hope to have better news for you guys, but that's what's happening today. If you have encouraging words, by all means, comment below and let me know. But I can't doctor hop again. So I'm going to stick with her to see if she gives me the referrals. And then I'm going to really try. Because she really wants me to try. Everything I do, I give 100% effort to. Everything. It's how I hurt myself all the time. Thanks for watching.